Hi everyone and welcome back. In today's video I'm going to build an affordable mini-ITX PC in this nice NZXT H1 case. So without further ado, let's start. Okay, here we got all the goods for this build. The case is the NZXT H1, which I have reviewed in another video, link in the description down below. This case includes also a 650 watt power supply and a 140mm all-in-one. As a motherboard, I have chosen the Gigabyte Aorus B550i Pro AX, link in the description for the review of this motherboard as well. As a CPU, I'm reusing this one from another previous build, which is the AMD Ryzen 5 Pro 4650G. The performances of this CPU are almost the same as the Ryzen 5 3600X. As a GPU, I have got the Zotac RTX 2060, which I've reviewed in another video, link in the description down below. For the memory, I've got the crucial Ballistix RGB 16GB kit. This RAM kit is a little bit lower than the others, for example, than the Corsair Vengeance RGB. So there shouldn't be any fitting issue between the motherboard and the AIO. And as a hard drive, I'm using the crucial NVMe 1TB SSD. Okay, so let's start building everything. Okay guys, let's install the motherboard. I have already removed this piece here. I'm going to remove also this cover here and also this one. Okay, let's open up the AIO so I can remove all the cables. Okay, let's remove also this protection here. Okay, let's install the motherboard. This part have to go down, yes. Okay guys, the case have a USB 3.2 Gen 2 port, but the motherboard doesn't have that. So I'm going to use this adapter from USB 3.2 Gen 2 to the USB 3.2 header. And the same I have to do with the USB 3.2 port. I have to convert it to a USB 2.0 port. Okay guys, so before connecting the power cable, remember to connect front panel audio and the switch. Let's change the retention bracket here, because this one is for the Intel motherboards. So we have to use these two screws up to here, like so. Don't tighten them till the end because you need a little bit of space after for installing them. And then let's install it to the water block. Okay, this cable with the 3 pins is for the water block and I usually should be installed on the CPU fan. And this cable here is for the fan. Install it to the motherboard fan. Usually I don't use the pre-applied thermal paste, but in case you don't have any spare thermal paste, you can leave it as it is. Okay guys, let's install the water block. Before closing everything, we have to position the tubes outwards. Okay, let's close the AIO. Let's install the GPU, but before doing that, I'm going to remove some of these power cables here that I'm going to use. Okay, let's remove these two screws here. Okay guys, let's install the graphic card. Once you have removed the two screws here, you have to simply put the graphic card here. For releasing the graphic card, you have to push this white button here and release the graphic card like so. Let's go quickly through the total cost. The cost of the case is $199. The cost of the motherboard is, you can find it around $160, $150. The CPU cost me around $200, but you can get the 5600X for around $240 or $250 actually. So if you have to buy it new, go for the 5600X. The cost of the memory kit was around $90 and the cost of the SSD was also around $90. The GPU was the most expensive part of this build, which was around $520 more or less, for a total cost of $1,360, which may be different depending on where you live. Eventually, you might need to add the cost of the OS and additional thermal paste or some additional adapters and cables that I have used in this build. But let's do some testing and check the temps and the gaming performance.
Take one Jerry out, I bet this driver takes the other. She's good.
Looks like we're doing this the hard way. Get off the other train and flank those crowds. Let's go.
I love driving a truck and
Now you'll see! Hey, V! Head down! And him! Hell yeah!
Scabs are still crawling. Clean it up, clean it out. Don't want to be bringing the target out under fire. And definitely don't want a slug in your back.
Hijos de puta!
No way, not neither.
Fuck the beat! That all you got? Nice. Couldn't have done that better myself.
On your toes. More bodies incoming. They're almost on you.
These fucking reapers.
I'll skin you and make a...
And him!
Scabs are still crawling.
Need to reload!
Don't want to be bringing the target out under fire. And definitely don't want a slug in your back.
As we can see guys, this affordable mini-ITX build can be a nice compact gaming PC with some RTX entry-level features, You can play most of the latest titles at 1080p or 1440p. And the temps aren't that high. That's all for this video. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this build and if you are planning to build a mini-ITX gaming PC. In case you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.